Lost at sea. A heavy storm emerges. A troubled fate for a boy clad in green. On a strange island, he washes ashore, saved, retrieving his belongings. But this is no ordinary island, and the fate of it, what's this boy's role in it? This outsider is no ordinary boy, had already gone through quite the ordeal, using all the official lore there is. This is the story of the hero of legend. A call for help during a terrifying night springs a brave uncle and boy into action. No doubt in mind, being the last of the knight's line, his uncle falls, leaving the sword behind. The princess is then to be saved, as the two make their escape. But the threat is not over, and Link needs to retrieve the evil's bane. Putting his life on the line, receiving the proof of the divine, to ultimately get the reward that is the Master Sword. But the hero is too late, as Zelda has met her fate. Aghanim sends Link away as a last resort. A copy of Hyrule, the dark world looms, a land where evil rules all. However, his adventure has only just begun, as the seal stopping the evil is slowly being undone. It all comes down to Link to save everyone, for as it turns out that he is indeed the chosen one. 7 temples to defeat, and 7 maidens waiting to be freed. Times have never been so tough, but none of these bosses are strong enough. Link's determination is unstoppable by any abomination. Chances are growing very slim, for the plans have been thwarted of the wizard Aghanim. But wait, what's happening? An alter ego has begun unraveling. It is Ganon who challenges him to a fight, but Link still defeats him despite all his might. Upon touching the Triforce, with the goodness of his heart, wishing for all misery to be undone, peace has been restored to the land of Hyrule, but only for more adventures to come. For soon after he's summoned by the Triforce, Link follows its call deep into the woods, where it sends him off to foreign lands, as evil has begun to lurk elsewhere. Time and nature, the two, are in danger. With the oracles gone, chaos is spreading through Labrina and Holodrum, Marin, Onox, but worse, Twin Rova. They want sorrow and destruction in order to complete their ritual for a proper resurrection. And just like that, Link was thrown into another adventure, where 2 lands are met with evil beyond. The oracles now gone, the spirits powerless. Another great task lies ahead, but this hero won't be stopped by any threat. Dinsrod changes seasons, as Nehru's harp travels ages. The forces of reason need to be collected to have their spirits restored. But to do so, he must traverse through 16 dungeons, slaying way more threats faced on his path. Essences to collect, oracles to protect. But once again, this hero proves that he swiftly deals with all threats one could expect, defeating all the villains. The plan of Twin Rova unfolds. They were pawns in a game bigger than previously foreseen, but it's too late. Link interrupts the ritual as Zelda's found on the witch's altar. They refuse to give in, and instead transform into him. Ganon is back. His mind total whack. Resurrection uncompleted. Link slays him here once again in combat. For now, all is well. Saved the world again. But Link really feels like he needs to catch a break. So he sails right out at the mysterious cloud, as the Japanese manual has a mystery to enshroud. After restoring peace in the land of Hyrule from the influences of the evil King Ganon, you left on your peace and relaxation to depart on a journey to fight the new calamity. On that day, you finished your training in a foreign country. You boarded the ship to return to the nostalgic land of Hyrule. Suddenly, the peaceful sea became stormy. The ship, struck by waves and struck by lightning, broke into two, and you sank with the wreckage to the bottom of the deep ocean. To arrive at Link's awakening, the dreaming island named Koholint was then found. From outside the darkness, you hear the voice of a girl. For some reason, this voice feels nostalgic. It sounds like Princess Zelda. He is then told that he was found laying on the beach, knocked out, as he was saved by a girl that seems oddly familiar. Monsters now suddenly roam these beaches, though similarly, people can tell what is when. The island seems strange, but the peaceful villagers here don't seem to take notice of anything weird happening. A mysterious owl tells him that for him to leave this place, he must awaken something called the windfish, using instruments of the sirens. This weird revelation leaves Link curious, but on this quest, he's greeted with quite the disturbances to retrieve the instruments, and he stumbles upon a dark cave with even darker secrets, just to come to learn a despicable truth. The island turns out to be a mere illusion, a scene on the lid of the sleeper's eye. If one were to awake the dreamer, Koholint will vanish much like a bubble on a needle. This entire island disappears with everything and everyone. Castaway, you should know the truth. But this can't be. Is it a plot set up by those who want to keep control? It's like no one really knows what's going on. But if this is fake, how come it feels so real? Though, that does bring some questions to mind. Why is it that many things on this island look so recognizable? This island is just a dream, though it's so hard to believe. everything can be touched and sensed, how could one get hurt in a fake reality? It's not real. And yet it is. It's starting to dawn like a case of deja vu. The memories that repeat once again. Is this world going back to the past? If sleeping becomes a reality, what exactly happened upon arriving here? Is this a dream? Woken up? Or now still sleeping? What did she say again? About tossing and turning? Or something else? Those nightmares, they're all foes who've haunted in previous adventures before, now being confronted and having to combat fears, wondering if it's worth it if the entire island disappears. As the dreams and nightmares had formed into actuality, so did another 8 dungeons, just like in any past country, having to face horrors that sprung back to life, conflicting events causing internal strife, keeping the windfish asleep to conquer this land, to let it stay in existence, having the controlling hand. So upon arrival, Link subconsciously brought them to shore, just for his past traumas to torture him once more, taking no pleasure in fighting to save the day. For the young hero's mentality proves a hefty price to pay, which includes the fear of villains unknown, wondering if Link's really alone. What about the girl, though she's been confused with Zelda? The moments have been spent together. Her attributes also seem to come from memories. Rosa, Nehru, and even the Maku tree. But who is that weird fiend with that flute? I've had no such boss encounter before. Maybe it belongs to this world before stranding here. Or maybe the nightmares include more. Reminded of a friend that was lost. Capable with another wind instrument. Where did he go again? To the mountains? On a search for the golden power to never return. Though everyone survived in the end from the wish, never forgetting that imagery in the haunted grove. A horrific sight to behold after playing the flute, for him then to be forever mute. A guilty conscience. A preventable death. Confronted with this, survivor's guilt. If only he found the moon pearl first, then he would have never ended up there. Not all nightmares come from villains after all. Now that all has been said and done, this island could not be outrun. There has to be another solution, but is there one? The illusion's end has come. To come undone. Please away from the dream, I'm begging of you. to be what we all believe. The horrors haunt you, but everything will vanish into the air. Our memories will swim the nightmares to overcome and slay. The dreams too will now have to go away. It's the only way. Let the instruments do their thing. Hear the ballad of the windfish loudly ring, hearing her sing. Sleepers wake, dreams of fate, you depart. As is fate.